I have had glimpses, albeit vague, of events, people, and places that will empower you. A forest brought back to life by the sheer determination of a woman in the Middle Ages. Speak to your companions. Some among you may well know the figures behind the events which I have seen. Borrow the might of all these lives throughout the ages. Let their strength become your own. For only then can you hope to defeat the enemy you face. Such is the power required should you wish to change the future. I will remain here and bear witness to the world's fate.
Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more Chrono Trigger. Last time, we resolved what Marl had left to do in her time period. Finally restoring the bridge between her and her father that had been broken so many years ago. We got a lot more powerful in the process too, and even got closure for the Chancellor as well. This time, there is but one thing left across time that we have yet to take care of other than the Black Omen itself. We're gonna take off toward the Middle Ages and see just what this whole forest determination business is all about. Fiona's Villa. Place that we visited before, but it's been a while. You a ghost there, bud? My husband Marco is finally home from the war. I hope he's not dead, considering I walked through him just now. Oh, I'm so relieved. Worry not, my love. We won't be parted again. Anything I plant dies before it even has a chance to grow. It's the work of monsters lurking out in that desert somewhere. This young tree is one that has been cultivated throughout the ages, mysteriously resilient. That could surely restore this desert to a verdant land. But I daren't plant so small a sapling there now, not with all the monsters nesting in that cave. She has the very plant that the lady in Zeal Kingdom wanted to keep secret from the queen, the one that she was instructed to burn. In the Japanese version, this is a lot more obvious that it ties into this quest because she mentions that she would love to live in a forest spawned by this tree if she ever reincarnated, implying that Fiona is the reincarnation of that lady. Since it's not exactly obvious, I just thought I'd tell you that because that is a prerequisite to doing this. If you told her to burn it, she will still be in the last village, and you will be able to tell her to not burn it there, thus being able to do this. Into the sunken desert, we fall through into the quicksand. Obtain a lapis. I welcome that item immediately. Seems like a really good start. What doesn't seem like a good start are Sir Crawley? Vile Pillar. Villa Pillar? Vile Pillar? Villa Pillar. I'm going to go with Villa Pillar. These have very high defense. Generally want to hit them with magic. And they attack very similarly to Sir Crawley as we saw before. They took me for a ride there. Wow. Give me a Cure 2, Frog. Glenn. Sorry, I don't mean to insult you, okay? It's just the name I met you as. It's like when your best friend changes their name when they're 30. I feel like we've been together that long. We've been through so much together, bud. I mean it in the best way possible. And hey, now we can both say that we survived the ride. Assuming that you do survive. Okay, good. We have a triple tech between these three. The 3D attack. This is, I think, a shadow elemented attack, so it should hit through their strong defense. It's very similar to the X Strike, but Ayla gets in on that, and it hits about as hard as you would imagine, 2,000 damage. It combines Chrono Cyclone with Frog's Slurp Cut and Ayla's Triple Kick. It's a new tech that we've not been able to use all this time, and it's fairly cheap by triple tech standards, being 20 on one character, 2 on the other. For some reason, even though it's 2 swords and a kick, all physical attacks, it counts as shadow magic, contrary to reality. I find it so wild that I didn't get a water hardened sand defense reduced. Okay, so that's what you can do against them. They all wanted Frog's magic in this party for one reason or another with one of the enemies here, and I guess it's these guys. That'll reduce their defense, making them a lot squishier, so you can follow up with an attack, and they're pretty easy to defeat after that. This chest contains a high ether. Healed up with all my bottom tier items, and not a moment too soon with these guys around. Frog, you know what to do. Moisten those tongues so that they're even shinier than they already look. I'm into some weird stuff, aren't I? With your defenses lowered, follow up with a... Whoa! Follow up with a counterattack. Ayla! Beautiful! 4,000 damage! Oh, I love you so much! Okay. Robo might be my favorite character, but Ayla, you might just be my favorite to use in battle, and I really, really mean that. You are so, so strong. The thought that I was trying to get through a moment ago, Aeonian suit, manages to be inferior for every character we have. Marl has double star magic defense. She has 99. I didn't even notice that when we equipped the prismatic helm. Whoa, that's beautiful. See, the so-called healer is not only a good magical attacker, but also now the best magical wall we have. Every party member is good, man. The thought that I was trying to get through earlier, which I'm going to be interrupted with yet again, these guys are Sandragos. They're pretty weak enemies, but the main thing about them to watch out for is that, well, Ayla's not going to give that one a chance to see it. If you attack them, they die. If you attack them, they... No! Our regular attack is enough to kill them, so it's not a concern for us whatsoever. What they're supposed to do is counter with Lock, making them a pretty devastating enemy if they get the chance. But I hate to tell you guys, you're the new freelancer. Right here, actually, I want to show this fight. This is a great example of when your early game techs can still be helpful now. So that we can take these guys out in one turn. Frog lowers their defense with water too. Chrono just does a cyclone because that's essentially his regular attack. It's been being powered up the entire adventure. And then Ayla just follows up with a regular attack, and there you go. No need to spend lots of MP. You can take them out very easily. Glenn gets a level up. It was quite an educational experience. Worth enough points for him to get said level up. We'll keep going down, and what I was trying to say earlier was I find it just amazing. Why does the ground trap? I cannot get through this thought no matter what I do. It's just constantly... He make forests die. You must fight a foe that moves beneath the earth. This will be no easy task. Okay. I was saying it's kind of awesome how I was cutting out very few battles because I always had new text to show off. I was trying to be very diligent showing off as many of them as I could. Almost every fight we had something new to talk about. And yet there's still so many to show that I feel overwhelmed. The muscle ring is +6 to stamina, which raises the defense stat in total. No need to really do that. I'm not really much of a guy about being slow and tanky. A memory cap. I had no one to equip the memory cap to because we have so much status immunity as it is, and it was inferior stat-wise to everything else. It's meant to prevent Lock from the regular enemies around here, but you saw how well that went for them trying to inflict us with it. Get an Aeonian helm. That is better defense on Ayla. Maybe just for right now. No status immunity does kind of hurt, though, because that's become the new golden standard for good equipment. Turbo Ether, gladly taking that. And in the last chest, 5,000 G. I think we know what we have to do, though. May antlions never have 4 incisors again. So this thing. Because we're fighting all of the children of all these bad guys who somehow got laid. I can't imagine how. Meet Melphyx, the descendant of Zombor from all that time ago on the bridge. It's basically just the same as Zombor, but with a core in the middle. It gets a status called Running Wild without core, which is very similar to what we saw with what we observed on what am I trying to say? On Mother Brain. Mother Brain. That's what I was trying to say. It's very similar to that. It has certain defenses on each part of the body. I'm just kind of trying them out right now, seeing what we get. Tailspin, maybe Tail I could do. Yeah, he's actually pretty devastating without the core. I chose to take out the core first, despite that, not only because it's the healer, but because if the core is left alone, it will run away at the end of the fight, thus robbing you of most of the reward, and that's definitely the last thing that you want. Though I do kind of wonder if that was the right choice, because it is pretty devastating. Okay, I guess that's not going to work. Will this work? It did 39 damage. Nice. Okay. Alright, so... hit you again. I need to heal up really badly right here. I cannot risk her taking any more damage, though, because this is getting kind of bad. Our physical attacks are pretty useless, so Ayla, how about you charm him? I hope this works right. I don't know. I'm getting kind of weirded out about this whole thing. Okay, so that gave nothing to give but gratitude. I hope I'm not doing this completely wrong. This is kind of shaky, but she just got devoured by a pelvis. That's terrible. Cure 2, please. Perhaps Luminaire can save the day? I need something, guys. Come on, work with me. Zero. Does anything work against this thing? Jeez. I'm kind of at a loss here because I'm trying to remember exactly what it is I'm supposed to do here. I have notes written for it, as I always do, but my notes aren't helpful at all. I was about to say whoever wrote this, but I have no one to blame but myself. Defense boosted when attack. Come on. No Luminaire. Can't do physical attacks. Can I charm the upper half, perhaps? I can get my brain sucked out by it, which seems to be what happened to me when I was coming up with what I was going to do against this thing. He has 0 damage. Water, heart, and sand, defense reduced. That's what it was. Oh my gosh. Charm the head. Nothing to give but gratitude. Okay, so whatever it was probably from the core that you get. So once again, I'll show you what it is on screen. So now that we're in a loop, I know exactly what to do, and it's not die. Frog, you use water 2 on both halves, and then we'll have Ayla and Chrono attack together. There we go. There is our strategy. I finally have things together. At least I hope I did. At least I better. Maybe drill kick. That could be a nice inexpensive way to do some damage right here. We can attack the bottom half. Kind of get the extra satisfaction of seeing the torso floating further above the ground than what it would be otherwise. Good. Over 1,000 damage. And then you can go for water 2. Again, this might not be the best way to take it out. I just really, really don't like how it can rob you of the reward if you do not take out the core earlier than the rest of the body. Should you do that, then you are robbed completely of everything if it runs away successfully. It's kind of what running away does, you know. Elixir, maybe? Yeah, let's, I'm pretty low on MP. I could afford an elixir. And we could also maybe spend one on Frog. Well, not necessary. We'll use a high ether on him. Water again. Though I don't think I've actually attacked him in the first place. Let's go for strong single attacks. I think that's a lot better than our regular, than what we've been doing. So 1 on the lower half. Ayla can attack the upper half, so that way we get a lot of mileage out of each turn. We go in a cycle of water 2, attack lower half, attack upper half, and then we should be good. He roars at us, doing not very good damage to the whole party. Ayla, you counterattack him, please. Thank you. And he cannot counter that counter. Chrono, you might as well attack again while you're here. And Ayla, on your turn, do a Lapis. And since his defense is about to be risen, we'll be at the ready with that water. I can't believe what a hard time I had with this. I know that the other enemies had that status, though, but I didn't remember this guy having it, and I guess I just neglected to write it down, and it slipped my memory. Well, I guess if there had to be one cringe-inducing boss, other than the Golem, that is, then I'm glad there was only, you know, one. Sand Cyclone, okay. But this defense is lowered. I think we'll go for our triple tech now because I'm meaning to use the 3D attack. Whoa, okay. Well, may this finish you off. Boom! Cool. All right, well, we got it together as soon as I pieced things together. It's like a puzzle. It is done. Let us tell Fiona. God, remember when this song was the best song in the game? Thank you for dealing with those foul creatures. Now I can set to work replanting again. Alas, I fear it will take ages to plant enough trees to restore this land. If only there was someone who could toil for centuries on end, then these waters could truly be made green again. Oh. She's been set on her path, so let's go to the future. And the future refused to change. Nothing different here. We'll go to the nearby snail stop and just kind of talk to the people in the town. I'm not interested in any spice jerky you're selling. 4 centuries ago, a woman named Fiona died trying to revive the great forest that once flourished to the north. It's a sad tale. Okay, guys, I have to share this with you while I'm in the moment. So, I did think to write it down that you want to use Water 2 or Ice 2 on Melphyx. Chrono and Ayla and Frog are very much expressing their frustration with me over that. It was on the next page, and I had it off screen. So when I scrolled down to see if there was anything that I wanted to make sure to do next, well. So never mind. I wasn't stupid. I am stupid. She was not able to take care of this herself, but she's kind of hinting at what she needs by talking about someone who could toil for centuries on end. Robo? This sounds like your time to shine. What do you think? I could remain here and assist Madame Fiona, and you could come retrieve me here once my work was complete. Is that all right? May I stay behind and help? I guess this makes you a robo-tiller. He has a tilling mode to plow the fields, and he'll just get to work for 400 years. Given that he's not biological, we can just travel to the future and there won't be any culture shock whatsoever from a robot existing all that time. This time, however, things actually did end up a little different. Before we do that, I want to see how history has changed the snail stop with this man knowing the story. 4 centuries ago, a woman named Fiona revived the forest to the north, aided by a strange iron construct. The thing is kept in a shrine within the forest now. This is Fiona's shrine. Here we give thanks to Fiona and Robo for reviving the forest scorched in the war against Magus 400 years ago. The remains of the venerable Robo are enshrined in the inner sanctum. My hats are woven from twigs rich with the mystical energies of the forest. Oh, she's a shop. Never mind. For a second there, I was like, wait, cutscene? What? No, okay, no, she's a shop. She sells clarity caps, memory caps, time hats, and vigilance hats. Now we can buy status immunity all we want. It's 50,000 G a pop, but what else are you gonna spend money on? Money is so plentiful, and that's even without doing the Lost Sanctum, which I already said gives you so much money. I'll take 2 more of them just for convenience so that we all have debuff immunity at the same time and there's no shuffling that has to be done. It might not be necessary, I just don't want to switch around the party and forget to add the debuff immunity to one character and thus have an entire plan go up in smoke. After looking at all the equipment we've earned, this was not necessary to do. I would warn you to save your money, unlike what I did, but there's not anything else to really spend it on, so do whatever you feel like. The member caps are probably the most worth it if you want something on the cheap. Now, we have an overdue reunion with somebody. Systems reactivated. Where am I? Oh, Lucca, how nice to finally see you again. Only a few moments have passed for you, but I have been waiting for 400 years. However, my efforts were worthwhile. The forest is restored. Now, shall we celebrate our 400-year reunion? I realized something during these past 400 years. I believe we may have been incorrect in our assumption that Lavos was responsible for the creation of the gates. What do you mean? It is not a certainty, but I have come to believe it possible that some entity wished for us to witness these events. Perhaps it wanted us to see all of these various ages. Alternatively, it may have wished to see them for itself. It seems almost as though it was reflecting on the days of its past. Ayla no. Person die, see life pass by. Elders say. Before death claims a man, he is made to bear witness a second time to those memories engraved most deeply upon his heart. There may be fond memories among them, yes, but often as not, the ones which grieve us are the most profound. Knowing the end is approaching likely reactivates dormant feelings of regret and desire to return to moments in the past. Do you suppose that will happen when our time comes? Probably. Who knows? Is there a point in time you'd want to return to, Lucca? No. Not really. I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have asked. No, it's okay. It's just something I don't like to think about too much. But even if Lavos did not open the gates, his fate is clearly bound to that of the one who did. Lavos has played a role in every age we've seen. Who do you think it is? It is unknown to me whose memories these are. It's likely an entity greater than any of us. Perhaps we will not know until our journey has come to an end. Shall we turn in for the night? Everyone's asleep. Before we go investigate, I have to praise this. This is my personal favorite moment of them all. This is where this becomes almost a work of philosophy. It was something I never imagined, and for Robo to be the one to deliver at a time like this, it's so beautiful. Oftentimes when people think of Chrono Trigger, this is the moment that comes to mind. It's probably the moment that I have seen the most works of. And I'm right there with you. It's the best. What's this? June 24th, 990. Dad promised to go hiking with me, but he blew me off again because of his research. I don't get it, but whatever. Who cares about stupid science anyway? Girls don't need to know about that stuff. The password to shut down the device is the name of my one true love. Use it in an emergency. Taban. What is this thing anyway? Taban said to keep away from it, but it's so dusty. Surely it wouldn't hurt just to tidy up a little. Dear me, my skirt, I'm stuck! Lucca! Lucca, help! I can't pull it out. Oh no. Lucca, enter the password. Stop the machine! But I don't know it, Mom. Only one shot. Press A to do this. A to confirm. L-A-R-A. Mommy. Thank goodness. Lucca. Oh, Lucca. June 24th, 990. Dad promised to go hiking with me, but he blew me off again because of his research. I don't get it, but whatever. Who cares about stupid science anyway? Girls don't need to know about that stuff. July 2nd, 990. That was close. I think I'd better study a little more about machines in case anything like that ever happens again. That was always weighing on your mind, was it not, Lucca? You were always thinking of others. I have a present for you. It is a piece of amber I created using sap from the trees in this forest. It required 400 years and a great deal of pressurization to make. I hope you will find it useful. Robo, you're so sweet. Thank you. Only one chance to type in that password, and if you fail, Lucca's mother is bound to a chair for the rest of her life, as she was when we first saw her, all the way back when we were first living our normal lives in 1000 AD. Not only is it an unforgiving 10 seconds to figure out to type it in with the controller, but one wrong input, and you lose. The password changes depending on the version. In the PlayStation release of Chrono Trigger, it is L1 circle R1 circle. Not exactly straightforward. In Japanese, Lucca's mom is named Lala, and the password is that instead. Apparently, it was even harder in Japan due to the poor distinction between L and R in the Japanese language. So a player could have figured this out, typed in Ra-Ra or Rala, and still gotten it wrong for good. Like, it's already obtuse, but you're also going to make it a 1 in 4 shot too? I'm kind of glad that we got the version we did. The Green Dream is an accessory that automatically revives a KO'd wearer 1 time. This is what I was talking about all that time ago when I said that Lavos had the ability to kill on turn 1 through an auto-revive. This is the piece of equipment that I was referring to. Now, this has permanently changed history. Lucca's mother was bound to a chair for most of her life over that incident. After succeeding at that, and only when doing so, she gets up and walks for the very first time. What a beautiful day. I think I'll go for a walk once I finish the housework. You don't realize how good the mundane actually is. It's a very small, yet very touching reward, I find. And this is usually what makes Lucca stick with most people. She's not that standout of a character otherwise, at least not up to this point, but maybe now you can see why I was leaning toward Lucca being my personal favorite character. Lucca is believed to be named after a title given to saints, meaning healer of the blind. This makes a lot of sense after Fiona's quest. No new timelines are created by your actions in the past, but it will affect if Laura is standing in the ending that you get or not. There's only one other thing worth seeing in this whole sequence of events. The alternative. July 15th, 990. If only I'd known more about machines, then Mom would still be okay. It's all my fault. July 1st, 990. I wish I hadn't heard what the doctor told Dad. Mom's legs, they're... You can give her my legs. They're lightweight, with a highly compact form factor and exceptional balance. You could mount some treads on me instead. Anything would be fine. Please do not be sad, Lucca. Thank you. You're such a good friend. A good friend. You called me your friend? But I am only a robot. I have a present for you. It is a piece of amber I created using sap from the trees in this forest. It required 400 years and a great deal of pressurization to make. I hope you will find it useful. Robo, you're so sweet. Thank you. I'm willing to bet most would fail this on their first attempt. I know I sure did, and I still fail it from time to time. In fact, I failed it twice before I got it here today. But that's everything. Everything everyone wanted to change in every time period. Next time on Chrono Trigger, it's time we flew to the Black Omen to take care of Zeal and then Lavos. See you guys then.